How do you approach note taking on your research so then easy to use in the moment of writing? Yeah, I write my first draft and then usually other research will kind of filter through. So even last night, I send myself emails throughout the night, which sounds like I'm loopy. And it's like, add in this, add in that. Don't forget that actually that would be in this. And so then the next morning, when I read through those emails, I will add them in to my work in progress document as comments for the
Mm.
next draft. So I'll find elements of research basically that I haven't already done and add them in as comments so that I can do that later. It's like a later me problem. But for the initial research, there's a really good app called Evernote, which collates, like, you can take photos and you can leave voice notes and you can write notes, but you can put them into projects. And I find that super useful just because I'm inspired by various things, like on the dog walk and stuff. Like I'll think of things, or if I'm doing research somewhere that's out and about, I can make sure I'm adding it into that particular project. And then I am a plotter. So when I'm adding in research, I do it when I'm plotting. I'll think about, okay, so how would that drive the setting? What would that mean if somebody can do this or cannot do this? So I'd add it in there as well in my initial drafts. And you also said, how deep down the research rabbit hole should you safely go to keep the balance with writing time? You know, it's really tricky. I think that you do have to separate research and writing time, which is why I send myself emails and then plop in comments next to the space where I want it for later, Rachel, because they're very different things. And sitting down with an hour to write and spending an hour researching is sometimes a waste of time. And sometimes researching can be a reason not to write. And sometimes we use it for that, and it's not always very useful. So what I would say is if you have to research something in order to move your scene forward, but you've only got an hour that week, I wouldn't spend that time researching it then. I would put like a marker there. So for example, I just reached a chapter in my WIP and I can't figure out how I want to tell that story. That particular month is, in this person's life is going to be this one chapter. I can't go into the detail I want to, but some really important stuff happens. So what I'm going to do is I just said, okay, to be written, this is what I want to say in this chapter, move on to the next chapter. And when I'm taking my holiday, I'm going to read a book that I know does that really well. Because your downtime is perfect research time because you don't have to do things that you don't enjoy to research. Like I'm watching Wolf Hall at the moment. That's really fun. I'll do that of an evening. That's relaxing and research. So I would definitely separate them and get into the habit of separating them.